I just wanted to give a few words on what I have been thinking, what I've been feeling for the last 2 weeks on top of corona. And I need to do it before this battery dies. Something wrong with the battery. It's completely busted open. But I wrote down a few things. First of all, I avoided watching the video for the longest. I want to say it came out like Sunday or Monday, and I seen a little bit of it. I said, no, I don't want to see no more of it. I'm tired of police brutality videos. And then I started seeing RIP, RIP, RIP. I'm like, okay, wow, this man has been killed. So I finally watched the video in its entirety, and we literally just watched another black man be killed in front of our eyes. And the weird part is, it upset me, it pissed me off, but at the same time, it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we are desensitized to a lot of things because it's become the new normal. No disrespect, after the initial few days of, public outrage, I kind of forgot about it. I hate to say it, but I did, because I didn't think they were going to do anything anyway. I mean, the cops killed her, and that's not the first time that cops have gotten the wrong address. I don't understand. That's my thing. How do you get the wrong address? Wouldn't you want to triple, quadruple check that it's the right house? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Not even like, how did they do it? Like, some of them are just trigger happy. If I can find a video of this cop bopping around like he ready for action, he like, yeah, I'm ready for one of y'all to do something. Them the people that do not need a badge and a gun. Like, we can sit here and say the background checks for officers needs to be more thorough. What else can they do? As many bad cops as it is, what background check can y'all do to make sure that when they get a badge and a gun, they not gonna lose their damn mind? They not gonna be trigger happy. And as far as this whole, it's more good cops than it is bad, I have to disagree with that, because if it's so many so-called good cops, they're not good if they stand there, sit there, and allow certain stuff to go on. Like the cops that were standing there when they weren't on George Floyd's body, holding him down, they just stood there with this man knee on this man's neck. You're not a good cop. You're not a good cop. It's just like the movies. Me and my mom was talking about it. I said, these cops ain't real. They not like Atwater from Chicago PD. If you don't know what Chicago PD is, literally Chicago Police Department. And it's a show on like ABC or CBS or whatever. Basically, a cop did some fugazi foolishness. He was racist. He profiled this young man who only had shoes in his bags, talking about it's probably drugs, ran into this house, shot this person, the other people shooting back. And because he was a cop, and the son of a long list of cops, uncles, brothers, granddaddy, all of them was cops, Atwater was like, I'm not about to sit here and lie and say they shot that cop because they were trying to run. He came in on them and he was wrong. He didn't follow the right protocol. So the other cops, they outside his house, flashing their lights like, we gonna push you out the force, basically. And he like, do what you need to. Cops, them the type of good cops I need. Somebody that's in the community, want to help the community, and when they see some wrong stuff, whether it's a citizen or a fellow officer, they step in and they squash that. Because I am quick to I hate when my phone do this. I'm quick to just ramble like I did. I'm probably sure that was about 10 minutes. While my phone is coming back to life, as far as corona, if these numbers don't go crazy, they don't skyrocket after these protests end or die down, we've been lied to. Because ain't no way all these people been around each other from coast to coast, and you telling me ain't nobody got it, ain't nobody the carrier. As far as mental state, my anxiety started to kick up, and then seeing the numbers increase. Because when you think about it, you're saying 100,000 to 200,000. That's a lot, but it really ain't a lot. And you telling me those numbers can be surpassed, and they have hit 100,000 deaths or more by now. It just messed with my anxiety, because it's like it's too much going on. You already dealing with your own issues, your own brain, your own emotions, and now you telling me we fighting a disease that we can't see. And y'all lying to us. The government always lying. You can take that however you want. If you think the government is completely honest with you, you probably think not it was, you know, what it looks like it was, but it ain't. Back to the real topic right now, because I'm still a little antsy when it comes to corona, but I don't know how to feel about it. The cop getting first degree, I kind of want to play it safe. I think that they should just leave it at second degree. Third degree, I know he got pushed up to second, and the other cops was like aiding and abetting or whatever. I don't know what degree, but I completely understand how they are saying that it would be hard to prove in court. Excuse me. My mom thinks that he should get first degree. I just feel like they could play it so good that he would walk away. I do. I feel like first degree is pushing it. I was watching CNN last night, and I know the brother is calling for first degree. I don't know. I don't know about that. I really don't. As far as this being filmed, people harassing that 17-year-old girl, that's a bit much. She's 17. And think if she had to stop recording and jumped in, we wouldn't have no footage for real. Because what if she got killed in the incident? I feel like y'all gotta kind of back off on her. Like, they already talking about she need therapy. Anybody that was out there gonna need therapy. Hell, we wasn't there. We all got PTSD, if you ask me. We all got some form of PTSD. I know I do. I know my family does. We've talked about it. I'm not going into detail. We all got PTSD, and we all need some type of therapy, coloring book, something. Seriously, like, we all got some type of issue. That 17-year-old girl, like, what was she supposed to do? You know, like, we can all sit here and say, I would have jumped in here. I would have kicked him at least. I would have pulled him off. Yeah, we can all say what we would have did, but it's different when you really in that situation. So that 17-year-old girl, y'all got to lay off of her. The wife of whatever the dude name is, you ain't slick. I don't believe that you're so disgusted by him that you need a divorce. Like everybody else in their mama saying, you was trying to protect the assets. Because your husband has been known to be involved in officer-related shootings where people have died, supposedly. And has had so many write-ups against him because he's so hostile and aggressive and violent and been beating people up. Oh, there's a cardinal. All of these things. You ain't disgusted now. Girl, bye. I don't believe him. I don't believe her. I don't believe him. They ain't slick. As far as this is going to change the world, I highly disagree. Please don't be upset. And if you are, I'm sorry. This would be a good step to bring more awareness to police brutality. But as far as this is going to change the world, we're going to be here for one another, this isn't going to happen again. It's going to decrease the likelihood of this happening again. I disagree. And it's not me being a Debbie Downer, but I'm more of a realist than anything. You can see these people out here protesting and got their Black Lives Matter posters. They just standing there in the middle of the street, and they on the bridge, and people coming up, attacking them, snatching it out. You cannot change them people. Them people set in their damn ways. I'm sorry. It's not going to change anything. It's not finna... I feel like it'll bring some people closer together. Some is in a lot. People will probably... Because white people getting their ass beat in the street like blacks are with all these protesting. Now it's this whole dismantle police... police reform, blah blah blah, close the jails, do something now, because you, Tim, Sarah, and Annie, y'all getting the same treatment as we usually do. Now it's let's do something about it. So yeah, okay, in that sense, I can see something happening, but as far as we are the world, I don't see that happening. I really don't, because what we gonna do? We gonna, hey, y'all on that bullshit in y'all house? Y'all not racist, are you? You're not teaching your kids racism, right? Because racism is taught, right? We ain't born racist, right? So as long as you got individuals that's teaching their kids this, and they rubbing off on other individuals, it's never gonna end. I just don't never see racism ending. People want to say, oh, we can end racism. How? Make a game plan. Let us see it. It's not going to happen. People, you cannot go to every house and say, you're not teaching your kid that, right? You're not making them type of statements, are you? How many black people work at your job? You own your own company? How many minorities do you got at your job? It's not finna happen. I'm sorry. I just don't see it that way. I'm sorry. I'm really not sorry. I don't know why I keep saying that. Also, cash bail, especially for non-violent crimes. There is a difference between protesters versus looters. There's a difference between protesters versus looters. When I see comments, and this is another reason why I had to get off social media so much, when I see comments of like, well, what do you think is going to happen when you're protesting and people are telling you to stay at home? You're going to get sick with COVID. It might happen. Or, well, they gave you a curfew and you animals are still out there looting. But it's an image of peaceful protesters. Speaking of peaceful, if the cops are peaceful, the protesters will be peaceful. The way you move is gonna make me feel some type of way. You come at me all hostile, I'ma feel some way, and I'll probably be hostile right back. That animosity, that energy, if the police are peaceful, the protesters will be peaceful as well as a cop drives by. The fact that y'all president had all them people pushed and maced and beat with them batons just so he could take a photo with a Bible that he don't even know how to hold, looking oh so stupid. Oh so stupid in front of a church. Disgusting. Utter disgust. Back to the protesters versus looters. There's a difference between protesters versus looters. Protesters was out there being peaceful. Okay? Now, as far as Ferguson, I did say, well, why are, the National Guard, the Army, whoever these people are, why are they coming here? And Ferguson protest has been peaceful. Not more than 15 minutes later did they start breaking windows at the police headquarters or the police station or whatever. I said, never mind. But at the same time, maybe I'm twisted. I know I'm not the only twisted person. I don't lose sleep when Fendi is ran through. I don't lose sleep when Target is burnt down, when Quick Trip is burnt down, when Gucci, Louis, Prada is empty and it ain't nothing but the mannequin with their hand like this. Had me die. Anyway, I don't lose sleep like that. I'm not emotionally disturbed when I see stuff like that. I'm not emotionally disturbed when I see stuff like that. I'm emotionally disturbed when I come across pictures of Michael Brown's body in the middle of the street. I'm disturbed when I see George Floyd being suffocated in front of everybody. Okay, I'm upset and emotionally disturbed thinking about, you know, all these senseless murders of black people. That's what pisses me off. That's what makes me be like, I'm disgusted. I'm irritated. But as far as people breaking into, you know, wherever the hell and running out with dining tables, cheesecakes, shoes, and whatever the hell else. If I had my own business with the climate is, and you witnessed a man being killed, a black man, another black man at that, being murdered by cops yet again, you didn't think, hey, we need to either go protect our business, arm ourselves and protect our business, B, board up our business and remove any very expensive items out the store. Make sure that the back room is completely locked up and cannot be accessed. Me, this is me. If I witnessed a black man, another black man being murdered by cops yet again on camera, a senseless murder, I have my own business, I am going to board up my shop, because we should know by now shit can get heated real fast. You should know. The Walmart by my house, they shut down at 5. They said we closing because of the riots. Target by my friend's house, they started closing at 3. If you have a business, why wouldn't you go ahead and make sure like your ducks in a row? That's just what I'm saying. People like, my business, my business, my business. Now for small businesses, I do feel bad for y'all, because with Corona and everything, some of y'all probably not going to bounce back from that. And I feel bad for you. But in war, there will be casualties. And I remember saying that when Michael Brown protests and riots and whatever you want to call it was happening. Me and a guy was talking about, I said, well, he basically was saying like he wouldn't want his kids down there. And I said, I mean, it's their choice. And he was like, well, what if they died? I'm like, well, at least they died, you know, basically standing up for what they believe in. If it's Black Lives Matter, my son is a black man, he wanted to go march with his people and end up being killed. Yeah, I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be pissed off. We probably gonna be marching again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how you're gonna react. But it's not like he was killed doing some stupid shit. He marching with his people. He marching for something that he believe in. You know, where did I even go with that? That I don't even know where I went with that. That was weird. I don't know where that came from. Now, as far as things being burned down, and as far as things being burnt down, you can rebuild, and those that can't rebuild, sorry for you. I do feel bad for you, but I think majority of us feel like lives over a store. Black lives over shoes being taken. Designer bags, living to see another day. Honestly, the first night that everything popped off and they was breaking into the stores, I'm like, I wonder where they're gonna go next. I wonder where they're gonna go next. It's not like that I want them to loot, but I don't care that they were doing it, if that makes sense. What else was I gonna say? Cheesecakes and whatnot. Media is pissing me off as well, because how dare you be like, well, we don't know where she got the cheesecake from. A whole Cheesecake Factory cheesecake, and you telling me you don't know where Lil Mama got the cheesecake from? But they looting the Cheesecake Factory? But everybody, oh wow, they're looting their own stores. They're running out with shoes and bags and purses, makeup and watches. It's clear that that's a Rolex on his wrist. Oh, that's clear though. Those are sneakers that you know, that they just took out the store. Blah blah blah. But Susie come out with a cheesecake. You talking about, well, we don't know where it came from. The fuck? Huh? Stop it. Stop. Apparently, they found a cheesecake. Like what? Okay. The media is annoying. People are annoying. Okay, everybody is annoying at this point. That's why I get on. I say my little 2 cents, whether it's about Black Lives Matter or not, and I logs right out, because I can't right now. I got my own emotions going on. Okay, for my mental sake, I have to disengage. I have to detach myself sometimes. I just can't with too much of this stuff. I just can't. I really can't. It's one thing. Black people live this every day. The stuff that's going on, black people live it every day. White people, y'all just getting a taste of it because y'all are becoming better allies. We appreciate that. We thank you. I'm gonna leave y'all with this video clip that I stumbled across on Instagram, and it basically sums up how I feel about systematic racism and looting and rioting in the protesters. And that'll be that. That video summed up everything that I had thought, bits and pieces of what I was thinking, but that video summed it up perfectly. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all off the line so y'all can enjoy y'all the rest of y'all day. I think it's time for a drink, and that's that.
I've been seeing a lot of things talking of the people making commentary. Interestingly enough, the ones I've noticed that have been making the commentary are wealthy black people making the commentary about we should not be rioting, we should not be looting, we should not be tearing up our own communities. And then there's been an argument of the other side of we should be hitting them in the pocket. We should be focusing on the blackout days where we don't spend money. But, you know, I feel like we should do both. And I feel like I support both. And I'll tell you why I support both. I support both because when you have a civil unrest like this, there are 3 types of people in the streets. There are the protesters, there are the rioters, and there are the looters. The protesters are there because they actually care about what is happening in the community. They want to raise their voices, and they are there strictly to protest. You have the rioters who are angry, who are anarchists, who really just want to fuck shit up, and that's what they're going to do regardless. And then you have the looters. And the looters almost exclusively are just there to do that, to loot. Now, people are like, well, what did you gain? Well, what did you get from looting? I think that as long as we're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why. And that's my issue with that. As long as we're focusing on what they're doing, we're not focusing on why they're doing. And some people are like, well, those aren't people who are legitimately angry about what's happening. Those are people who just want to get stuff. Okay, well then Let's go with that. Let's say that's what it is. Let's ask ourselves why in this country in 2020, the financial gap between poor blacks and the rest of the world is at such a distance that people feel like their only hope and only opportunity to get some of the things that we flaunt and flash in front of them all the time is to walk through a broken glass window and get it. That they are so hopeless that getting that necklace, getting that TV, getting that change, getting that bed, getting that phone, whatever it is that they're going to get, is that in that moment when the riots happen and if they present an opportunity of looting, that's their only opportunity to get it. We need to be questioning that. Why are people that poor? Why are people that broke? Why are people that food insecure, that clothing insecure, that they feel like their only shot, that they are shooting their shot by walking through a broken glass window to get what they need? And then people want to talk about, well, there's plenty of people who pulled themselves up out of bootstraps and got it on their own. Why can't they do that? Let me explain to you something about economics in America. And I'm so glad that as a child, I got an opportunity to spend time at Push where they taught me this, is that we must never forget that economics was the reason that black people were brought to this country. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Do you understand that? That's what we came to do. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Now, if I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money, I didn't allow you to have anything on the board, I didn't allow for you to have anything, and then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and you earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly was taken from you. That was Tulsa, that was Rosewood. Those are places where we built black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burned them to the ground. So that's 450 years. So for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you don't get to play at all. Not only do you not get to play, you have to play on the behalf of the person that you're playing against. You have to play and make money and earn wealth for them, and then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time that they don't like the way that you're playing, or that you're catching up, or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient, they burn your game. They burn your cards. They burn your Monopoly money. And then finally at the release and the onset of that, they allow you to play and they say, okay, now you catch up. Now at this point, the only way you're going to catch up in the game is if the person shares the wealth, correct? But what if every time you share the wealth, then there's psychological warfare against you to say, oh, you're an equal opportunity hire. So if I played 400 rounds of Monopoly with you and I had to play and give you every dime that I made, and then for 50 years, every time that I played, if you didn't like what I did, you got to burn it like they did in Tulsa and like they did in Rosewood, how can you win? How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the fuck do I give a shit about burning the fucking Football Hall of Fame, about burning a fucking Target? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and didn't give a fuck. You broke the contract when for 400 years we played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract when we built our wealth again on our own, by our bootstraps in Tulsa, and you dropped bombs on us. When we built it in Rosewood and you came in and you slaughtered us. You broke the contract, so fuck your Target. Fuck your Hall of Fame. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.